set an alarm at 9:50.
I set your alarm for 9:50 a.m.
Good morning, Leah.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Loud and clear.
Awesome.
Okay, so I've looked over the item on consent, it's the solar battery farm. And while the suggestion of the color of the equipment was just a mere suggestion, I didn't see anything indicating a color at all on the plans. So I'm approving it as it was submitted.
Sounds good to me.
Well, that's one off the agenda. Bye bang.
I don't hear anything. Hello, anybody there? No.
We're
Good
here.
morning. Here.
I am.
All I'm getting is a blue screen.
Yes, so we have about 4 minutes until we start. And Michael already took care of the consent item. But if you want to take a peek at it and voice it.
No, I was okay with the consent item.
Okay, awesome.
I guess it's fine. I guess. So Leah, all I'm seeing is the North County BAR blue screen.
That's all that's shown.
Okay, then I guess I'm right. Thank you.
Can I be left then?
What are you requesting?
Well, if Steve's going to be right, I'd like to be left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes total sense.
So you're a leftist there, Michael?
Sure, why not? I'm a French guy.
Then
You
I'll
don't
be the
wanna
right.
ask- Yeah, you don't want
I'll
to
be
ask
the
me what I'm
rightist.
wearing right now.
I'd rather not know.
Just use
We
your
are
imagination.
recording.
I see that. I'm not scared. Okay, we'll get started in a couple minutes.
Is my microphone working?
Your microphone is working.
Check, double check, 10-4.
Roger, roger.
Roger, roger.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today is Friday, October 22nd, and we are about to start today's NBAR meeting. I'd like to thank everyone for participating. And if there's anyone in the audience that would like to speak on a subject that is not on today's agenda, please do so now.
Mr. Chair, I do not have any requests to speak.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Then at this time, we'll move on to the agenda status report.
Hi
Mr.
there.
Oh, sorry, Shannon. I have no changes to today's standard agenda.
Yeah, the board members were emailed a package for today's meeting. Included in that package was the meeting minutes for September 24th. Has everyone had a chance to review those? And if so, would they like to make any revisions or comment on those minutes at this time?
Yes, I do.
Okie doke.
On item 1, number C, letter C. That's confusing. So why don't we omit that and just add on H where it says materials for third floor, say materials and details for the third floor needed to be studied? Did you follow that one?
Yeah, so,
And then on D, like in the middle of that, it says consider more space on the deck. It should replace that more space on the deck with, or more space with the word deeper. So it reads consider deeper deck, because that makes more sense.
right.
On E, need to know side elevations. We need to develop side just replace that with the just develop side elevations.
Okay.
And then the second sentence should be a new bullet item, because it's a different kind of a thing. And it should say provide section drawings through building and Clark Avenue.
Provide section drawings through building and Clark Avenue section.
Yes, so that we
Okay.
see the street, and we talked about that. And then on H, as I said before, materials and details should be added to that. And on I, at the end of it, add another sentence that says show on section, so that they can show the equipment rooms and stuff like that in the section, so we can see how it works with the street. And then J should read something like consider material continuity at building corners.
Consider. Okay.
That's all I've got.
Well, if we can talk about I for a second.
I.
Yeah, we had asked about the mechanical equipment, and they had indicated that they're going to use electric. So those will be mini splits
Okay.
and the
Mini
like.
split
So,
heat pumps. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm just curious as to where they're going to put the outdoor units.
Well, they might put them on the roof, right?
Right.
So that's why.
That was one thing I was thinking about, or just the chases, and just where they're going to appear on the site.
Yeah, there isn't any room, I don't think. It's all parking lot and building.
Yeah.
So if they show them on the section, it'll clarify.
Hopefully.
They'll have to think about it.
Was there anything else?
Whatever anybody else wants to change.
Then, with no other comments on the meeting minutes, I'll ask for a vote.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I was absent, so can
Yeah.
Leah please send me that package so I can review it? Is that doable, Leah?
Yeah. Did you want
Okay.
the link to materials for the last meeting or the draft meeting minutes?
Whatever's easier for you. I have the minutes here, so I can review it in context and be able to participate the next time.
You need the plans, right?
Yes.
Okay, give me just a
Otherwise,
second.
according to the rules, I would have to recuse myself from the next time they come back. So,
So you need to get up to speed.
yes, please.
Okay, then. With all of that said, for those of you who participated in that meeting, I'll ask for a motion to approve these meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second,
All second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys. Meeting minutes are approved. And let's move on to the next item on the agenda. Okay, I did have a chance to look at the Kioma Solar, and while it was a suggestion to see if there were any other, or what the color choices were for the equipment, I did not see any indication of color on the plans. And since that was the only consideration for that, I went ahead and approved that stuff. So the consent item has been approved, just so you guys know. And now we'll move on to NBAR informational briefings. Has anybody had any discussions with applicants, planning staff, supervisors, or any of the like?
I do. It's somewhat related. If any of you go out to the planning office, you'll see a whole new garden out in front. So check it out.
Did you smile while you're out there?
Did I what?
Did you smile? Did you like it?
It's a smile.
I
garden.
loved it.
Perfect.
Yeah, the butterflies are finding it. It's meant as a pollinator type of garden, and the original garden had been planted 25 plus years ago, and the trees have gotten bigger, so we changed to more shade tolerant stuff and lawn alternatives, and it has a whole new look. So hopefully you guys can see it when you go into the office. Hopefully the planning staff likes it.
It's beautiful, Kevin. And go ahead.
Michael, I think just as a point of order, I think we all need to vote on approving the consent items.
That's true. Yes.
Yes.
So I'll make a motion to approve the consent item.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I did already, so. Cool.
Are there a lot of monarchs over there, Kevin?
They're finding it. There was a lot of hummingbirds and monarchs yesterday when we were out there. This spring, hopefully, there'll be a lot more when the plants fill in.
Good.
So
Connie's made it her life profession. We've got chrysalises and butterflies, monarchs all over the place here.
good.
Well, let's move on to item number 6, staff update.
Okay, I have a few staff updates, mainly about projects in the Orca area. So the Keysite 3 project, which is near Clark, just to the south of Clark Avenue and the intersection of Clark with the 101. It's 119 single-family homes proposed there. That was heard by the board on October 12th and was continued to see if any alternative secondary access could be achieved. And Oasis, the senior center, is scheduled to go to the Board of Supervisors on December 7th of this year, with some additional trails included. And we also have a new employee in the North County office named Hugo Augusto. And I think he might have called in. Oh yeah, he's here on the call. So I'm going to just turn it over to him to give a brief introduction.
Shannon, just one thing.
Sure.
Keysite 3, does that also include that high density part?
It has MRO zoning in the middle of the mesa on the site.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey everybody, can you hear me just fine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, hi. Well, my name is Hugo Augusto. I'm the newest team member here in North County.
Hi, Hugo.
Super excited to be here. Recently came from Bakersfield, but I'm from the Northwest region, like Portland area. But I'm really excited to join your guys' team, and I'm really excited to see the kind of projects you guys work on.
Nothing but the best, Hugo. All
Thanks,
right.
guys. That's all we have for the staff update.
Mr. Chair, forgive the interruption. Shannon, aren't you forgetting one pretty important detail?
I'm the new I am the new NBAR supervising. I'm not a supervising planner, but I'm supervising NBAR and taking the minutes from now on. So
Well, congratulations on the extra work.
That's a field promotion, I think.
yeah, I would say so.
Very good. So, there are other items on here, conflicts of interest, supportive circumstances of COVID. Now, are we, with regards to in-person meetings, have we made any movement on that?
So, Mr. Chair, as of right now, the conference room in the North County office that we used to use, we haven't been able to figure out a way to accommodate enough people in there to be able to safely hold a meeting in there. And I know that staff is taking a look at the Betaravia Center, but I think it's either you guys or CBAR that has quite a few scheduling conflicts with a few of their regular meetings that they're holding there currently. So as of right now, we're kind of stuck because we don't have a safe place to hold you guys yet. But once we do have an option, then it'll become available for you as an option. But as of right now, I mean, really your only choice is to either not hold BAR meetings or keep them remote for now.
These seem very convenient for the applicant.
You know what? A lot of applicants have expressed a lot of appreciation for being able to just log in and present their project remotely. I know that some of the members feel that it's a little harder to review these digital plans, but I believe that going forward, we'll be in this digital format regardless of the format of the meeting.
I find it a lot easier to review, as a matter of fact, to do it this way.
I do too. I like it because we get it early. I can look at it ahead of time and be ready in the morning.
I mark up all the plans on one screen, and then I just refer to them as they talk about it. Then I have talking points I can zero in on and ask questions about. It's a lot more convenient and efficient, it seems to me.
Maybe I can have you guys set up a training for the other BARs then, because you guys sound like you have it locked down. That sounds great.
Just have to have multiple computer screens.
Yeah, that helps. I have 3, so that's what
three?
makes it really easy. Yeah.
Is the third one above or next to it?
No, they're all, it's like NASA here. It's just spread out.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Mr. Chair, if we can just get a motion on that, whatever you would like to direct staff to do, either stay remote or try to find a solution to come back in person at this time. But whatever you guys are more comfortable with and however you want to word the motion, that's fine with me.
Are we able to do a hybrid version?
That's what I was going to suggest, yes.
So when we come back, ideally it will be a hybrid version. We just need to figure out the electronic components that we're going to need and a space that we can hold you guys in. So yes,
Okay.
Ultimately we will have a hybrid version, but for right now, it seems like remote is really our only option for now.
Only bad thing about it for me is that we can't get actual colors because it's whatever our screens are. But that is something that can be fixed. They can have samples sent out to all the members so we can physically see what samples that they're talking about. But
Or
that's kind of a
perhaps
minor
just to
thing.
make the samples available at the office there or something.
Well, that would
because
be
the textures and the colors are convoluted at best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion, actually. Shannon, did you want to just take a quick note of that? Because that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, so that
That's a good idea.
we would have them submit physical color material boards to the North County office.
In time for us not to go down the day before and
Right.
Yeah, and try
Like
to,
the Friday before, so
Barnes.
you have a full week.
A week. Yeah, that
A week.
would be nice. Yeah.
And then we need to see the context too. So it'd be good if we had the plan so we could see it, what the colors related to. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and the other problem was, it was a while back. We had that very large cooler building out there on, the west side of Santa Maria, and it was really difficult to review that on the screen and get a feel for the size of that building without, a little bit
Right.
ability to see larger documents.
We had to rely on Bobby's aesthetic because he'd seen that color before.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have submit physical color and materials board and one full-size printed plan set to North County office a week in advance.
Perfect.
Put it back on that. Okay, well, thank you very much. So right now we have one item on the agenda.
Oh, Mr. Chair,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd
So we
like
just-
to ask for a motion to continue our digital meetings, our Zoom meetings, and with the caveat that we have physical material boards and full-size plans the Friday before the meeting.
You guys will have to work out where. I guess it would be in the conference room.
Yeah, just in the conference room where we can schedule. So,
I second the motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Guys. Tina, are you available? This is your item. I had a question with regards to the number of sheets. We were provided with 6 sheets. There are 8 on the sheet index. Is this the latest copy of the plans that we received?
One that's in the box file
Yes.
is the correct one. So that has 1, 2, 3. I have one that has 6 sheets.
Correct. The
Is
sheet
there,
index.
is there an index on this thing?
Yeah, the index indicates that there are 8 sheets. What are missing are the structural notes and details, and I believe the retaining wall details are missing as well.
Okay, gotcha. No, those were not provided to me. What I got is these 6 sheets. So if those are important, then we'll need to, continue this or do whatever we need to do, bring those back for final on consent, if those are something you need to see.
Well, I mean, this is agendized for final, I believe.
Yeah.
And taking a look at the plans, there are no sizes on any of the framing members that are called out. What the call outs indicate is see structural, and there are no structural sheets. So the new construction is indicated as new construction. None of the new posts are called out. None of the rafters are called out. We don't know if it's trusses. I mean, there's a hole in this.
Okay.
And if we were asked to do a final approval on this, I don't see how we can.
Gotcha. You're not talking about the project that's on the screen right now, correct?
No, I'm talking about the
Zacor. Yeah.
the Zacor detached patio covering staircase.
Okay, good. So that sounds like you cannot move forward, and I don't see even the architect on right now. So that's a problem as well. I emailed him and can give him a call, but it sounds like you can't even make, your findings for final approval.
One other slight note on the landscape plan.
Yeah.
He's got a water certificate thing on there. It says it's complying with the city of Buellton. He needs to adjust that to whatever.
Yeah, that's completely wrong.
Got it.
There's honestly, there's a lot of holes in this landscape plan too. There's no erosion control of the disturbed areas, any mention of that. I'm concerned at how the grading looks around those edges of the walls. It's just vines. There's no, ground cover. And at the top level, it's showing vines, but there's nothing, if I'm reading the plan right, there's nothing for it to climb on. That's at grade at the top there. So
At the top of
I'm
the
not
wall?
sure. Yeah, those are all clinging vines. And
I think he intended them for him to spill down and grab a hold of the wall on the way down, but
Yeah.
I think.
well, there's plenty of other plants that'll do that. These are clinging vines that are meant to climb up. They're very difficult to train to go downward.
They're going to try to climb over the glass.
Yes,
handrail.
exactly. Yeah.
Well,
One of the-
and
So
additionally, it's kind of important that we see how that wall and the railing and all this come together. So I think those structural sections for the retaining wall will be critical.
Yeah, I mean, he's provided some of the items that we requested, but there were just too many holes in everything else for us to provide final approval.
Also, Kevin, on those side retaining walls, on the upper
Mhm.
part, it's exposed on the inside. On the lower part, it's exposed on the outside.
Mm.
And the plants that he's got are about where the zero is. So there's no
Mhm.
up or down either way. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I think-
it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me how this is
So
really
if he-
planted out.
if he wanted
So,
them to grow up, he needed to push them up to the exposed to the inside.
yeah, put them in an area where there's a wall and put it
Right.
on the correct side of the wall. And normally you would see the grading altered to get a little bit of a swale away from the wall so that it's on the left hand or the right hand side. That's happening a little bit, but on the left hand side, they're directing water towards it, which to me is going to just really erode that. So
I think he's just showing
there's
existing.
nothing. Okay, well, okay, then
guessing.
that needs to be corrected. He needs
Yeah.
to work with the civil plan But anyway, I have some concerns how that whole landscape comes together. There's obviously going to be a lot of disturbance around that wall, and there's no mention of erosion control
Mhm.
and hydroseeding. I mean, do we want some permanent type planting around there? I would, shrubbery type of things to give something other than just grasses. So,
Something else, Kevin,
I mean,
that would benefit him and just thinking about it is he shows a detail how to do the glass retaining wall above on one of these
Mhm.
sheets. But I don't think you can do that on the staircase because the staircase is curved and it's going downhill and there's little jogs and there's a lot of you know what I mean? It's the more difficult thing. And I wouldn't even mind if they find that they can't do it, is to have a rock wall come up, the height they need or something like that. It's going to be more massive, but to think about how the steps are going to be handled, because I think somebody's going to have to think about it. The guy building it.
Well, yeah,
He's going to have a
that's,
curb or something going down maybe, or, how do you do that?
and you have to have a guardrail as well as the handrail on that thing. 'cause
Oh,
of
that's
height.
true. Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't see it any place. The curvy part, which is the difficult part,
Absolutely.
Mhm.
extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not
God.
our deal.
Yeah, I don't know how that could possibly be built. I mean, unless they're
Well,
doing
you
it
could-
out of plexiglass.
Well, you could use curved Lexan, but you better bring a bucket of money.
Well, that's,
So-
that's their deal, but
Yeah, that's not our
just show
problem.
us how it's going
Yeah.
to work. 'Cause
So,
they're going to have to figure that out.
okay, just to clarify, are you talking about curving the glass itself or curving a handrail like on top
Well,
of the
they
glass?
need to show us
Both.
details on how they're going to attach the glass handrail to the staircase and how they're going to handle the handrail as well as the retaining wall.
And the guardrail.
The guardrail, yeah.
And Tina, you might want to check the Muello law. I'm not sure right now, but it's a very small amount of landscape. But because there's a building permit involved, they may have to provide an irrigation plan.
Okay.
Can I run through the comments real quick?
Yes, because they were.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
We jumped around a little. So they haven't shown any of the sizes on framing members or structural details, and you need the structural details to provide final approval.
They
On
need
the
to-
land,
They need to
Oh.
indicate sizes of members for the trellis and how they're connected to each other
And detailed.
and detailed. They just kind of boil it down to something concise.
Okay. On the landscaping plan, they need to reference the county. And there's no erosion control or hydro seeding shown. And shrubs should also be considered on that sloped area that will be disturbed.
Erosion control needs to be addressed, which includes those things. Is that a better way to say it, Kevin?
Yeah.
And then
Erosion control would include jute netting, hydroseed, and shrubbery as permanent plantings.
But what about swales and stuff?
Oh yeah, and the swale to direct water away from the base of the wall.
Yeah, I said grading around walls is concerning. There's nothing to direct water away from wall shown.
Yes. Yeah.
Kevin, doesn't that usually include, straw waffles and other things for temporary control?
Yeah, I'll bet you the building department will tell them you need a stormwater protection plan, a grading plan, and that would include the wattles and all the
Silt
stuff that goes with
fences or
that.
what have you.
Yeah.
Tina, do they trigger tier 1 stormwater control?
No.
Okay. And then I had that they're just showing vines, no ground covers being shown, but that's kind of encompassed in the prior comment too.
No,
Yeah.
that landscape, that's a landscape issue he wants to have trailing type plants and these aren't. Is that right, Kevin?
Yeah, if the intent is to soften the wall, it should be a trailing plant. These are a climbing plant. And they're all, okay, I got to take that back. The trumpet vine is a trailing one. That's in the center area. But the other ones seem to be misplaced, like at the top. They're going to want to climb on the glass. So they need to consider something else. I'd like to see planting details. There's no comment on, the amount of bark that's required. There's no irrigation. The planting plan is very minimal.
Okay.
In general.
And I wrote that there was nothing for clinging vines to climb on, and the proposed plant types other than the trumpet vine are not the types of plants that would trail. So some of those are misplaced. Yeah. We're missing.
And if the intent is to trail over the edge of the wall, they need to reconsider some of them. And I would leave it at that.
Okay. And we need details for how the wall and railing come together. So the retaining details are important for your consideration. The curved staircase, or the curved portion of the staircase, we need to know how it will work. How will the glass be connected and
Installed. Yeah.
okay, be installed. And how will the handrail and guardrail be installed?
We need to, yeah, show details, stairway, guardrail, and handrails.
Okay. And consider rock wall around the curved staircase. If the glass won't work, I think was a,
Yeah, I don't know if you want to include
Don't
that.
include that. That's something
Yeah.
that they can come back
That's
with.
their problem if it doesn't work.
okay, okay. And Wheelo, based on Wheelo requirements, it may require an irrigation plan. We need details on the sizing of members on the trellis and how they're connected, how they'd be actually
We
constructed.
mentioned that before.
Okay,
That was number one.
Boil this all down as concisely as you can so that he can make sure that he doesn't misunderstand anything, if you know what I mean.
will
Concise.
do.
Yeah.
Yep. Alrighty. It's unfortunate they're not in attendance.
Okay. Are there any other comments at this time?
Not for me.
Did we also mention to reconsider the placement of the landscape? How would you say this? The landscape planters on the side walls, whatever. Is that the east and west walls? Or that's just too confusing.
Well, I think it'd be more like what I said earlier. It's just minimalistic for a structure that large. There's like a very minimal approach to what they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, and the size of those footings under that wall are significant, and how that's actually designed, whether it's back under the load-bearing side of the wall or if it's out on the cantilever side of the wall, are going to be fundamentally critical in terms of trying to plant landscaping above them. And those things are probably only maybe 8 or 10 inches below grade, so that won't leave a lot of root zone if they're projecting out on the the non-soil side of the wall. So and that's why those details are kind of important.
One of the retaining walls looks like it's curved as well. On section B, A. Where is that?
Isn't that around the stair?
Around the stair. So is the stair intended to be
Curved? Yes.
curved?
Yes.
Well, that would be a good thing to detail.
You think?
Yeah, because I don't know how you build that out of block.
Well, you're going to be cutting a lot of it.
It's like calculus. You just make them 1-inch slices,
Angled.
angled slices. It could be concrete and then they applied something to it, but what are they doing? I don't know.
It was a fun forming job.
Yeah.
Well, at the height of that wall, the bottom might well be concrete anyway.
9 feet.
Yeah, it's a pretty good cantilevered wall.
Oh yeah, it's 9 feet.
It's definitely going to be 12-inch block.
Yeah. Or thicker, maybe.
Well, I mean, it'll be 12-inch concrete and then transition to 12-inch block and then transition to 8-inch block as it goes up. The face will stay the same, but the backside will be different.
Yeah. Those footings might be 6 feet wide too. So
Easily.
But anyway, that's engineering.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, Leah, do we need a motion to continue this item?
I think technically since the applicant wasn't even present, it probably shouldn't even receive a formal review today. Shannon, do you have any input on that, or do you just
It would be very helpful for them. Whether or not
We
it's,
could, in the minutes, put them as advisory comments. I mean, it feels wasted if we don't give them the feedback.
Okay, that sounds good. Then, Mr. Chair, I don't think that we need a motion for that item then.
Okay.
they have access to our comments too, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Well, with that said, then I'll ask for a motion to close this meeting.
Yes, I do.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor, say aye, aye.
Aye.
All right. Hey, you guys have a good weekend.
You too.
You
All
as
right,
well.
you too. Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Yes, ma'am?
Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, guys.
Yeah.
Bye, Leo.